Hi, welcome to Optimal Play. This is Steven.
And this is Kyle.
Yes, this is our first no Brandon all-star cast of Optimal
Finally,
Play.
give the people what they want.
So, yeah, if this is your favorite video we've ever done, definitely let us know in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Send IMs to Brandon.
Yep.
Join his Discord so that you can troll him.
Yep.
It's Optimal Play. I guess we posted.
It's down in the description, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I definitely edit the videos.
And if you miss him, just keep that to yourself.
Yeah, we don't want to hear
it. Today we're going to be talking about Mystics, the purple cards.
It's my second favorite class.
Oh. And yeah, we've heard there's going to be lots of Doom, which is always a good time.
I do like Doom play. It's one of my kinks.
Yeah. What would be a Doom? So, is a Doom top the one who's like adding the Doom, and a Doom bottom the one who's removing the Doom?
Oh man, this is a whole conversation that I just want to explore, but we don't have time, Steven.
All right. We do have a lot of cards to get through.
I want to go home.
So, would you like to read our investigator?
Sure.
Figure out what they're top and bottom.
Yeah. She is Amina Zidane, the operator. Like, the person who's like operator and like patches you through.
I think they
just with spells.
This is the first character that's not from an Arkham game; it's from a Pandemic game.
Okay, great. She is threes across the board: willpower, intellect, combat, and agility. She is chosen, and she is also cursed. She has a reaction. When you play an asset, reduce its resource cost by 3. It enters play with 1 Doom on it.
Seems like 2 good things
I
to
was just going to say, like, both positive effects? That's pretty rare. Limit once per round. Her Elder Sign is +2. You may move all Doom from a card at your location to another card at your location. Oh, so what we can do is we can Doom our cards and then dump them onto Brandon's card and then blame him for advancing the agenda.
This is great.
Oh, this is great. Let's see the deck building here. 30 card deck. Deck building options: Mystic cards 0 to 5, Neutral 0 to 5, and Charm cards 0 to 4. Are there any Charm cards that aren't Mystic off the top of your head?
No, I mean, it seems like something like Survivors might have.
Maybe some rogue, like, trinkets or charms, like Lucky Cigarette.
I
have no idea.
I was hoping she'd be able to play the Sleight of Friend card from Rogue, but it does not
Doesn't seem that
possible.
way. Deck building requirements: Word of Woe, Word of Wheel, Deafening Silence, and a random basic weakness. I'm not actually sure which one is the weakness. I assume Deafening Silence.
Yeah.
Alright, well, speaking of signatures, why don't you jump in?
Alright, Word of Woe is a 2-cost event. It's a pact. Fast, play only during your turn. Place 1 Doom on an asset you control to resolve an action ability on it, ignoring all costs, including its action cost. Then, if Word of Wheel, that's the other one, is in your discard pile, you may shuffle it into your deck.
Okay, so costs are also like spending charges off of assets, right?
And exhausting. So, like, there's a lot of cool effects that you can only do once per turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Doom Tome that does damage, I think doesn't that exhaust?
I couldn't tell you. I haven't
like
really played it.
I like that one, but I feel like you have to build it up over several turns, so being able to do it and not have to spend the cost means you could, like, I think right now it's like you have to do it for 2 damage the first time and then for 3 damage, but like instead you could do it for like 2 damage or 3 damage on the same turn.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Especially if you're like in Witching Hour.
Oh, and you're placing a Doom on it, so you do it for like 3 damage and 4 damage.
4 damage, yeah. Okay, I like that.
So
yeah, I can't think of anything else that like pops right into my head for it. But
only downside is you do not have the ability to do a fast, so you cannot use this with like Renfield.
Well, Renfield is like tabooed out of control, so I'm not playing him anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, David. All right, let's talk about Word of Wheel. Pact. Also, this one's 0 cost. It's fast. When you perform a skill test on an asset with 1 or more Doom on it, Add your willpower to your skill value for this test. Then, if Word of Woe is in your discard pile, you may shuffle it in your deck. Okay, so like the same kind of things. They find each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Add your willpower to skill value for this test, and the skill test has to be triggering an asset with 1 doom on it.
But it's fine to just add your will twice.
Right? Yeah, I was just gonna say, can you add your will to your will? I think probably. It seems good. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's adding willpower to things is good, especially because you can buff a lot of willpower with mystic cards.
It is weird that the name of the card is like Word of Wheel. Like, it's like pronouncing well.
Oh, wheel. I don't know. All right. Deafening Silence.
Yeah, so this is a treachery. It appears to be headphones, which I don't think are invented yet in the time of Arkham.
Yeah, it's nebulous and fun.
Omen. Oh, it's an omen of headphones are coming. Revelation.
Oh, the omen of headphone. Oh yeah, I know this one. Never mind.
This is the omen that Dr. Dre got that told him to start Beats.
You know, I read that biography. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's one of the Arkham books. It comes with an investigator promo.
The Dr. Dre promo.
Revelation. Move 1 doom from an asset you control to the current agenda. This may cause the current agenda to advance. If no doom is moved in this way, shuffle Deafening Silence back into your deck. And then, can you read the flavor text for me?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's
Alright. Yeah, it's that.
Did you get that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's actually boom, chicka, boom, chicka.
Yeah, I do not understand, like, the, like, connection between the effect of this card and the headphones.
It's Deafening Silence. Because they're underwater. Nah, I don't know. I figured, if I did a thing, you might be able to figure something out. It didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But, let's see.
Oh, she cannot do her radio operating anymore, I guess. Because
she can't be like, please hold.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have her headphones.
I guess.
She lost them. She dropped them underwater.
Yeah.
Too bad. So she's fired. This is termination. It's a pink slip.
Yeah.
Great, got it.
It should be like she just no longer gets credits and upkeep anymore.
Well, that's actually funny. Oh, man. Now I'm thinking about how Arkham works as far as, like, money. Like, everyone just has, like, the same paying job.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, cool. Except for 2 investigators. Anyway. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, moving Doom from card you control to the agenda is kind of shitty. And it can cause it to advance, so you're not going to get away with, like, witching hour bullshit.
True, although the good thing is... Oh, I guess it's bad... Well, so if you do this in upkeep, and that means you have not gotten rid of your Doom, which means it's probably not witching hour.
But even if it is, you're still going to add a Doom right away into the Mythos phase. Like, you're never going to be able to cheat a Doom. Like, this is never not going to do +1 Doom. Unless
it's always going to put one more on the agenda. But I'm saying it should rarely advance, because, like, generally as you get really close to advancing, you're like, removing all the Doom off your cards.
True. Yeah, and I guess it's like, if it was going to advance because you had Doom on your cards anyway, you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all the same. Okay, yeah. Not the worst card, but yeah, +1 Doom just is generally feel bad when someone wants to play with it so much. Is it me?
I think so.
Alright, it's the Ceremonial Sickle, a 3-cost asset with a combat icon, item, charm, weapon, and melee traded. Action, fight, either use your willpower or get +1 combat for this attack. When you initiate this ability, choose one. Exhaust the sickle and place 1 Doom on it to get +1 skill value and deal +1 damage. Or, if this attack defeats an enemy, remove 1 Doom from Ceremonial Sickle.
Oh.
You know, it really reminds me of the Doom version of the Butcher Knife. What's that called?
Right. Yeah, the Butcher's Knife.
No, it's definitely not. Oh, Meat Cleaver. That's what it's called. But yeah, so it's like, you're taking some bad effect, and then later you can, if you kill the thing, you can undo that bad effect that you had to do.
Yep.
How do you feel like this works? I'm struggling to find the connection to our investigator on this one.
Oh, so she puts it out for free with a doom on it.
Oh, right. With a
Yeah.
doom on it.
Yeah. But then you have to kill someone. If you want to go down to 0 doom with it, you have to kill someone for just 1 damage.
Okay.
But you're probably playing shriveling as well, so maybe you shrivel them and then you hit them once with this.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm at the point in this game, especially now that we started playing hard a little bit more often, I'm really struggling to find the 3 stat line not to be just a huge bummer.
Yeah, well, but maybe you're always playing Blood Ritual.
Sure, Blood Rider.
And that... Because the interesting thing is with her, you would normally think Mystics would take the will, but actually with her, by default, you would take the +1
combat.
fight,
Yeah. No, definitely.
And then the Blood Right can boost either. Right? It does will or fight, so...
That's true. Alright. That's a weapon.
So next we have the Dowsing Rod. This is an item and a charm. But I've noticed that, like, whatever trait they let you get is almost always, like, there's a ton of ones that you would get anyway.
In the class, yeah.
So it's a 4-cost asset. You can, as an action, investigate... Oh, this looks very similar. So you can either use your will or +1 intellect. And then you can place a doom... Oh, you can exhaust it and place a doom to move to a connecting location. And that's when you initiate. So you would move and then investigate.
Okay.
Or, if this discovers the last clue at a location, remove a doom from it.
What do you think of this?
Removing the last clue with a single investigate does seem a little bit easier than killing an enemy with only 1 damage. So, like, that part is nice.
Yeah, but for 4 experience, it doesn't...
You mean 4 resources.
Sorry, for 4 resources, it doesn't accelerate clue getting. It gives you a +1. It takes up a hand slot. I feel like this is not good.
Yeah, it's tough because I think your intellect would have to be a lot more than your will probably for this to be worth it.
Yeah, so far I'm finding, like, I feel like some of these cards are just, like, not sitting in her as well. I mean, obviously they're expensive cards and, like, getting that doom on, like, yeah, so if you're like, oh, I'm sitting on a location that's, like, decently low shroud and it has 1 clue left, first I'm going to play out this thing for -3, add a doom to it, and investigate and get the doom cleared. I think that's definitely a like reasonable strategy, but you're not even exhaust it, place 1 doom, and then investigate after you're moving. Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
okay.
Mystics are not great at movement, so...
That's true.
You know. And maybe, there may be some cards that we're about to get that are like, +1 action for every doom in play, or, you know, like something crazy
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
there has to be something that's coupling with some of this adding doom to the cards. I would agree. Alright. Next we have the Hollowed Chalice. It is a 3-cost asset. So far all these assets have been 3 costs or more.
Yeah.
Which is, alright, makes sense. Willpower icon, item, charm trait. Choose an investigator, as an action, choose an investigator at your location and either, choose 1, exhaust it, place 1 doom on it, and heal 2 damage and horror from that investigator. It's pretty good. Or heal 1 damage or 1 horror from that investigator. If you heal the last damage or horror, remove 1 doom. Okay, so same kind of feel as the last couple cards. Again, takes up a hand slot. This one I think is the best of the 3.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like pretty easy to trigger that last thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's pretty common that either damage or horror you're, like, almost healed up on.
Especially after healing 2 and 2.
Yeah.
If you're doing this before.
And so maybe you can also use Amina... Well, at least if you have her Elder Sign, you can move Doom off other cards onto this, because this one seems quite easy to remove from.
Yeah, like if they take 1 damage, you're like, oh, I'll just heal you next turn and then remove another Doom. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Also, potentially a nice Carolyn card.
Oh yeah, Carolyn can take it.
Yeah.
And it won't even count against her Mystic.
Yep.
Yeah, so far, nothing super flashy yet, but I agree. I think there's some key cards that are going to come into pack that are going to couple with all the Doom play.
Alright. Onyx Pentacle. 3 costs, another item and charm. And then as an action, evade. Okay, it's the evade version. The first one is exhaust it and place a doom on it to target any enemy at your location or a connecting location and get +1 skill value. So that would be +2 if you're using agility. And then the next one is, if you succeed by 2 or more, remove 1 doom from Onyx Pentacle.
Interesting. So I think this one is maybe one of the harder ones to get the second ability to trigger, removing the Doom.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're playing like Safina, I mean, you basically need to be a rogue probably to do the second one.
I mean, I will point out, we're 4 cards in and they're all doing kind of the same stuff, but they're all in hand slots, and Mystics don't really have a lot of competition for their hand slots. So even if it's just like a little bit of moving around Doom in the table as like your hand slot, I think that's also okay.
I thought you put 2 ritual candles in every.
I mean, like now, yeah, they're very competitive, but before Ritual Candles broke the game, and I assume they will unbreak the game at some point. Until then. Yeah, they're not good. But once that happens, when they unbreak the game, there's new hand slot options for Mystics. We don't have a lot. I'm liking that. All right. Next one is Eldritch Initiation, not Inspiration. Yeah. It is a 1-cost event. Will and Intellect icons, ritual trait. For each arcane slot you have, draw 1 card, max of 5. Something flashy. For each filled arcane slot you have, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. Wait.
So if they're all filled, it's just filtering.
Oh, okay.
And if none of them are filled, it's all.
It's just all plus. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And then the flavor text here is: by both light and shadow, may dusk beg it dawn. May the turning of the world lead to power everlasting. Could have done without it.
Have you ever had more than 3 arcane slots? I don't think I have.
There is a mystic tarot that turns your accessory slots into flexible arcane slots, which could be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Probably, likely 2 or 3 card draw from this for 1 cost is actually pretty good.
But if it's generally 2 or 3, but you often have to discard 1 or 2, I don't think I'd play it.
Yeah. Maybe you take this in off-class Mystic, where you're not actually casting spells.
Then you're just using it to draw 2? I don't know.
I mean, compare it to, what's the...
I mean, Preposterous Sketches is draw 3.
Draws 3 for 2 resources, and you have to have a clue or have a clue of the location. So if you could get up to 3 reliably, this is just better-ish.
Yeah, if you can get to 3 arcane slots, and you don't have any filtered.
Alright, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting card. I don't know how good it is.
Yep. Explosive Ward. This is a cost X spell with 2 fight icons. Before you play Explosive Ward, you may discard any number of cards from your arcane slots. Oh, so setting up your Eldritch Initiation.
I kind of love this.
Deal X damage to a non-elite enemy engaged with you. X cannot be greater than the number of empty arcane slots you have. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
Alright, well, clearly they're going to do some messing around with our arcane slots in this, and I'm all for this one. Mm-hmm. This one's really cool, especially because there's so many times when you have spells that are just empty and just filling up your arcane slots for no reason. Mm-hmm. Love this. I think this is a very good
card. The way this works, so you have 3 arcane slots. Let's say one of them is an empty shriveling. So you play this, you discard the empty shriveling, you then pay 3 to do 3 damage. Mm-hmm. No test, you just do the damage. Mm-hmm. And there's no attack of opportunity. So.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And she can do it to assets or events too? Just assets. Okay. Not as good with her ability. The reduction is only against assets, so you can't be like, okay, I'm going to use this for 3, pay nothing, do 3 Tesla's damage.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even occurred to me that this is another way to get rid of cards with Doom on them.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That's definitely part of the reason.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But it has
to be in your arcane slots. Okay, yeah, alright. Interesting. I feel like I should have curated this stack to go in some sort of order, because I'm like, but there's something else, right? Because it feels like there's more that lies beneath the.
This is the order they came in.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Is it me next?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Strings of Curses, a 1-cost event. Combat agility, spell traded, a parlay event, actually. Choose a non-elite enemy at your location and either choose one. Automatically evade that enemy and place 1 doom on it. It cannot take damage for the remainder of the round. Discover 1 clue at your location. Wow, that's a lot of effects. Or, if that enemy has 1 or more doom on it, defeat it, gain 1 resource for each doom that was on it. I love this. Alright, so how do we get doom on enemies? Can her ability push it onto other cards at her location?
Yeah, let's reread that.
Yeah, okay. It's, when you play, you may move all doom from a card at your location to another card at your location. You can put this on enemies and just kill the enemy.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
That's really fun. That's only your Elder Sign that can do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
just have
you
to
can
play
bank on it.
2x Sign of the Elder Sign.
I mean, hey, I see a reason now. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I really like that for just like the, quick get rid of Doom, but like, because I was obviously thinking moving around cards that we controlled, but yeah, just like throw it on an enemy, kill the enemy. Sounds fun.
Yep.
Yeah, String of Curses, I think, may be the best card so far. The first ability, automatically evade the enemy, put a Doom on it, all fine. It cannot take damage for the remainder of the round, which flavorfully I love. You're just like, yeah.
Well, it also makes the Doom a lot worse, because you can't just kill
Well,
it.
no, of course. But I just like that.
Yeah.
The feel of it feels cool. And then discover a clue. So you're evading an enemy and discovering a clue for a single event spell. That's pretty good. 1 cost event.
Yeah.
And then it also has the ability to, if it has Doom, defeat it. So, I mean, if you had 2 copies of this, you could add the Doom. Defeating it doesn't cause it to take damage. So you could do both abilities.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then gain resources for each Doom.
Yeah, this works really well with Kamani Jones, right? Because they can discard it without doing damage. Once it's evaded.
They can, yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah. If you play this with them and you do the first evade and they do the second evade. Yeah, no notes. It's a good card.
Binder's Jar. So we're getting into the XP cards now. This is an interdimensional prison. Looks like it's holding a demon based on the shadow. It's 2 cost, 1 XP, item and relic. You get +1 arcane slot for each enemy beneath Binder's Jar.
Hell yeah.
So this is where this like arcane slot like
Craziness,
madness comes in. Reaction. After a non-elite enemy is defeated at your location, place that enemy face down beneath Binder's Jar, limit 2 enemies beneath it. So you're sealing the enemies. And then when an enemy attacks you, discard an enemy beneath Binder's Jar that shares a trait with the attacking enemy, cancel that attack.
Wow.
And it takes a accessory slot.
This is great.
It's pretty cool.
It's really cool, and like I'm thinking like Diana really likes this too for like
the
little canceling an enemy's play. Like it seems really cool, and she could.
I mean, you have to put this underneath her.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you could put this underneath her with an attached enemy. How does that work?
It's weird that they don't tell you what happens to the enemies when this goes away. Like, do they just pop up and
they're just sealed forever. Yeah,
I guess that's how it, like, without them saying what, I don't know that there's...
No, I mean, I think there's a rule, like, if a card leaves play, then any cards attached to it go to their subsequent
Okay, so it goes to the encounter discard pile?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But yeah, if it goes under Diana, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's an edge case. Yeah. But no, this seems really cool, and I just like... I mean, there now is some stuff that mess around with arcane slots, and like thinking that mystic weapon that came in the last box. So last box, the bow staff thing that's like you do +1 damage for every arcane, or +1 combat for every arcane slot you have filled. You remember that one?
Yeah.
So like if you have 5 arcane slots and you're like,
was it unlimited or was it just like +1 if you have them both filled?
No, it was for each one because it gave you 2 arcane slots as well.
Okay.
It was the 2-handed like bow staff.
Oh,
thing.
maybe it was the damage that was +1 if you haven't filled.
It was if you had at least 2 filled, it was +1 damage, and the combat boost was just 1-to-1 for as many arcane slots as you had filled. So yeah, I mean this could couple really well with that and just get crazy, tons of spells out.
Yeah, and certainly with the, I would be very excited about with the initiation and the explosive ward.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's, yeah. Big Arcane deck. That's what I'm going for. Big Doom, big Arcane energy. Ghastly Possession. Oh, I've read this card before. It is a skill. One experience, one skill icon, innate spell traded, so Silas can take it. After you commit Ghastly Possession to a skill test on an asset, choose one. Place one Doom on that asset, and Ghastly Possession gains +2 wild icons. And then, if the skill test is successful, either remove one Doom from that asset, or replenish half of its uses rounded down. What do you think? Because I have very good thoughts on this one.
The first one I feel like you only do if you want the Doom. Like, I'm not putting XP cards in my deck just to get 3 wilds. But sometimes you want the Doom.
Yeah.
And the second one seems very flexible. Like, being able to either remove or replenish charges is super flexible.
Like, I think the case that Brandon and I made on this card was, even if this card was just straight up one wild icon, and if it's successful, replenish half the charges for no action, that's pretty great.
That's true. You don't have to... Like, that's better than Enraptured, which is one non-wild icon and one charge.
Yeah. So for one more experience, this does a ton of flexibility, tons of flexibility into your deck, and replenishing half charges, and sorry, this was the other thing that we realized. It's half of its uses, so it does not need to be on a spell. It can be on, like, the bar, and you get 6 bullets back on the bar, or something crazy like that. So it's like anything that has uses, which is pretty much everything in the game that has some sort of limit supply. Yeah, quite good.
Oh, because you can commit this to other people too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
No, we like kind of discovered that same thing along the way of talking about it, and it's so it's super flexible. The traits on it, innate and spell, both really good.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, great card.
Love it. So Astral Mirror, 3 cost, 2 XP ritual. Cool art. Like a very muscular person behind a normal looking person.
It's just like picture me behind Brandon,
For each of your arcane slots that are empty, you have 1 additional hand slot. You may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used to play an asset into one of your hand slots.
Oh. The additional action during your turn to play assets into your hand slots. So that's quite good.
So you could play all of the new hand slots, Doom things, if you want.
For 2 XP and a body slot, which is pretty... I mean, I guess there's the robe.
The robe is decent.
Yeah, the robe is pretty decent. But that's, again, like, there's just, like... I feel like Mystics are just getting the flexibility that they could, they could just have so many slots going on. We could have 3 arcane slots and 4 hand slots right now. It's like, kind of like...
Now, I do think that, like, that's going to be a trap a lot of games. Oh, it's like, I spent this whole game
just playing cards into my random slots that I have twice as many as usual.
I have 10 slots. I haven't done anything, but I have 10 slots.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's probably a trap. But it's a fun trap.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to El Rubash. Purifyingly Purpose? Or Purifying Purpose. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, or Porpoise.
Or Porpoise. I'm just proposing right now that she has 3 cost and 2 experience. She's an ally, a witch, and you get +1 skill value while resolving skill tests on an attached asset. Okay. 1 Doom on each attached asset does not count towards the agenda's Doom threshold. Brandon loves that. No Doom on the table. As a reaction, exhaust El Rubash, choose an asset in your play area with 1 or more Doom on it, attach it to El Rubash, or switch it with an attached asset. Limit 2 assets. So is this just tucking it under? Like, you can't use the assets that are tucked under.
No, you get +1 while resolving a skill test on the attached asset.
What?
You still get to use them like normal.
But are they still counting against your slots and everything?
I think they still count against your slots. I believe... I'm pretty sure that most cards that attach things will say, like, this does not count against your slots. So I think because this doesn't have that text, it still counts against your slots.
Okay, so basically the bonuses here for 2 experience and ally slot and 3 cost is you get +1 skill value while resolving it, and 1 doom on each of them, or 2 of them likely, don't count against the doom threshold. Pretty good. How do you feel?
I think that's pretty amazing. I mean, having, especially like these cards have a lot of way to remove doom one at a time. So the downside of that is that it can be hard to remove that last doom. Like if you put 1 doom on it when you play the card, and then you put 1 doom on it to use it, and then you remove 1 doom, like it still has 1 doom left on it. So it seems like a way to hide the last doom is super valuable. And you get +1 skill value on top of it. So a lot of those things that all they gave you was a measly +1. If they gave you a +2, that makes them a lot better.
Yeah. I feel like this is honestly, this exists pretty isolated just in, I can never remember this investigator's name. Amina, yeah. It feels like very, very Amina.
I think I would play this in almost anything that was doing the Doom playstyle.
You'd play this in like a Marie deck?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I just feel like she's like managing the overflow of Doom, which Amina's going to do, because like when she's playing cards, she can reduce the cost by adding more Doom. And I don't know. I'm not seeing the value outside of Amina as much. The +1 skill's okay, better for Amina because she has such well-rounded skills, so it like really gives her a nice buff.
Like I feel like it's okay. Here's an example. How often is it that you play Renfield on the first agenda and you either can't use him at all till the second agenda, or you have to like waste a Moonlight Ritual to just remove like 1 or 2 Doom off of Renfield in the first agenda? Whereas if you could have just put 1 Doom on him in the first agenda and like sat him on L, I mean you'd have to have Charisma, but like that still seems like pretty useful.
No, that's true. I mean, I guess anything it's going to ramp up eventually, like it's nice to be able to carry that 1 Doom against the agenda for a little longer. I see that. Okay, I see the value. It's just it's a big ask to an ally slot.
They haven't tabooed Charisma yet. It's not a big deal.
Man, I'll riot if they taboo Charisma. All right.
Who did that? You did that?
I did that one.
Okay.
That's all you.
So, speak of the devil, our next card is Moonlight Ritual, but level 2 version. So now it's got all kinds of icons, book, agility, and wild. 0 cost, spell and insight. It's fast now. I don't think it was fast before.
It wasn't fast before, no.
Remove all Doom from a non-elite card at your location. So I think the other change is that you can now do this to enemies, and I don't know if you can do it to other players.
I think I was going to say, I think it used to be only a card that you control.
I think the biggest thing here is probably the fast.
Fast, yeah. Because like they're so like, especially in like a Marie, which I feel like is the best user of Moonlight Ritual. Maybe until Amina was just like, yeah, you know, you're getting a free action to use Doom things, but then you're paying an action to get rid of those Doom things. So yeah, no, this is great. I think Moonlight Ritual is a great card if you're doing the Doom play, but I find that the tax of the action was always a little bit much, and I think that, yeah, it's nice, it's versatile, it's fast, we love it. Easy card, easy include. Ooh, okay. I like permanent and exceptional cards, and this is both of those things. This is the Sin Eater, which art is like indecipherably dark, but it looks like a pyromancer underwater, like you know, conjuring a flame in his hands or their hands. Cool. Anyway, it's 6 experience total, 3 permanent exceptional. As a fast action, you can exhaust Sin Eater, move 1 Doom from an asset you control to Sin Eater, then either ready that asset or place 1 charge on it. It's good. And then as an action, remove all Doom from Sin Eater. This is it. This is the card. This is wow.
So how does this work?
So you exhaust this card.
Mm-hmm.
You move one doom from an asset you control to a Sin Eater, and then either ready that asset if it's exhausted and it does those things, or if it's like a spell, you can just add a charge to it.
So it's all good. Like,
it's all good. I mean, it's
crazy.
6 experience.
Yeah.
But then it also...
But it's a permanent, so it's like you spend 6 experience, but you guarantee to get it.
You get it every time. And as an action, you can just remove all doom. So you just pull all the doom to Sin Eater, remove all the doom from Sin Eater.
Well, you can only move one
per turn, for sure. But like, this is
that's crazy.
Really good.
Yeah, that might be my first like 6 experience with Amina.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty shortly after, if not immediately.
That's crazy.
Yeah, especially with her ability being so like, cause like I found like Doom play in general, it's like, oh, you know, usually it's like it comes at a pretty even tempo because you're drawing cards that can do that. But like if she's like literally every asset I can play, I can Doom that shit.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna want to have a solution pretty early.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. All right,
Crazy.
we love an exceptional card.
All right. Next up, we have another classic, Uncaged to the Soul, level 3. Wild and will traded or skilled, whatever. Spirits. You may discard a spell or ritual asset you control. Play a spell or ritual card from your hand or discard pile, reducing its resource cost by 3.
What? You can play a spell or ritual from your discard pile?
Yeah.
That's huge.
I'm confused by the first sentence.
It's just saying, hey, for 3 experience, you can choose to spend this action getting rid of a spell or ritual in your tableau that has a ton of
control. Doom. Okay, I thought it said from hand. And I was like, why would I want to discard it from hand and then play it from hand when I could just play it from hand?
That's hilarious. Okay. Yeah. So you can get rid of it's like a nasty emergency button for a big Doom card.
Yeah, or no, it's not just that. It's also if you have an empty shriveling and you do not have another shriveling in your discard pile, even if there's no Doom in that shriveling, you would still want to use the first thing to discard the shriveling.
Holy shit, it's not I thought it was like you may do this or you can do this. But no, it's straight up, you can discard this spell.
Yeah.
Then replay it from your discard pile.
Yeah.
For -3 cost.
It's essentially that you could use this as a free recharge of a shriveling.
It's a really good card.
Yep.
This did this just make Recharge 4 obsolete? I think so.
Yeah, because Recharge 4 is what, 3 charges?
It fully recharges the spell, but it's draw a token, and if it's a bad things token, it just gets 1 charge instead.
Got it. Yeah. This seem
is so much better.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, how many spells are you running that are really like much more than 3 costs? Like maybe 4 costs, 5 costs if you're playing curse sweet spells.
Yeah, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah, like this is gonna be one resource at more than not. Man, but just being able to play spells or rituals from your discard files is so good. So you can play like super flashy event spells or rituals from your discard. This is a good card. This is maybe the best card in the pack for all around Mystics.
Yeah, I think it's the best all around card for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Hell yeah. Ooh. And I read the level 0 one, so it's just apropos that I'm reading the Ceremonial Sickle once more. This time it is 3 cost and 4 experience with 2 combat icons. And it is item, charm, weapon, and melee traded. I think still, not positive. Fight as an action. Either use your willpower or you get +1 combat for this attack. When you initiate the ability, choose 1. This reads exactly the same so far, but maybe this part different. Exhaust the Ceremonial Sickle and place 1 Doom on it to get +3 skill value instead of +1.
Yep.
And deal +1 damage for this attack. So that's just a +2 skill value for 4 experience. Seems not that great. And then if this attack defeats an enemy, ready Ceremonial Sickle and remove all Doom from it.
So it readies now.
Readies and all Doom, not 1 Doom.
Yeah, those are both a lot better.
Yeah. A lot better. Okay. Yeah, the 3 skill is meh, but I do really like the fact that it can now ready it and remove all Doom. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, well, the 3 skill is nice just because this still, like, if you're using Amina, for example, She kind of needs the 3 skill. Like, she's not actually good at using this, you know?
No, exactly, and that's why it's kind of, I don't know. The thing that I'm struggling with this one is, all right, so if you want to, like, hit with this,
Yeah.
you really need to use that first ability, so you're exhausting it.
Then you ready it with Sin Eater.
And you could ready it with Sin Eater. But I'm saying, like, the recharge ability, even though it removes all doom, it doesn't do anything for the skill value, so you're testing at a base +1 if you're doing combat, or +0 if you're doing willpower. That's... I mean, I know there's a lot of shifty doom things that make it need that balancing, but it feels like that's going to, like, miss a lot of times.
Yeah.
When you're just
it's
attacking naked with it.
Even at level 4, it does need some support, because you need, like, a nice skill card or something, or stat booster to actually succeed on the second test. So it's a little more build around required than I like for a 4 XP card.
Exactly. No, I mean, again, it's a hand slot for Mystic, so it's like, yeah, it's not a big flashy spell, so I get the balancing, but yeah, it feels like unless you're a high willpower Mystic, or, you know, you can get there somehow, this feels like you're going to miss a lot of the times when you're trying to ready it, which is kind of sad if this is, like, your main focus output of damage.
Yeah.
All right.
So next we have the Dowsing Rod. So same thing. The new first ability is, and this is 4 XP again, exhaust it, place a doom on it to move to conclusion, and get +2 skill value for this investigation. So they added +2 skill value. The second one is now, if you discover the last clue, ready it and remove all doom from it. So basically the
exact thing
changes.
as a sickle.
And yeah, same
lukewarmness, I feel like.
Alright.
Yeah, it's not as good as I want it to be. Alright, and another one, Onyx Pentacle. It's the evade one. Same thing that we talked about earlier, except it's exhaust, place on doom. You get +3 skill value for the attempt, so again, kind of a net +2 against at least agility. No. Wait.
I think it's not.
Is it better?
It's 2 better, I think. Almost certain it's 2 better.
Okay. And then, yeah, if you succeed by 2 or more, ready Onyx Pentacle and remove all doom from it, it still needs that help on the second ability to get your skill up. Yeah, for experience, I don't think I take this ever. Like this, it's unless you have like
and actually Safina can't even take this, and I feel like Safina was the only one who wanted the originals. So.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, so you can't take 4-level Mystic.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, now we're getting to the customizable. So hopefully one of these like customizations will be like
the
+1 skill for every doom in play. I mean, I'm still waiting for that.
I mean, yeah, I'm like, where is that card?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. We made it through the core of this stuff and we haven't found it. So
hopefully it's
fine.
So Living Ink, pretty cool art. It's like a person. Oh, it's like a dragon tattoo. It's the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Except the dragon is like coming out of her body.
That's what that movie was about, right? In the book.
Yeah.
So it's a ritual. It's 0 cost. When you purchase it, choose a skill and circle it on the upgrade sheet. It's got 3 charges. Remove 1 charge from Living Ink at the start of each of your turns. If it has no charges, discard it. And then it just says you get +1 to the chosen skills.
Interesting. So it gives you what's the red card that does?
Trial by fire.
I was thinking Dark Horse, but yes, that too.
And you always have to do this. Like, you cannot choose to not use it on a turn.
Yeah.
So
how many skills do you start circling? Just 1? Choose a skill. Yeah, okay.
Yep. I wonder which of these skills Mystics would choose.
So it's also a body slot, so it's competing with whatever that other body slot we saw earlier. Alright, so you take willpower, you circle willpower.
So first one is Shifting Ink, 1 XP. You may play Living Ink under the control of another investigator location. So I guess you would pick a different skill if you were planning to always play it on other people.
Unless you're playing your witch party.
Yeah. Next one, subtle depiction, 1 XP. At the start of your turn, you may choose not to remove 1 charge and ignore its ability. That seems nice.
Mm-hmm.
We always have some turns where you're just setting up. Maybe you're drawing cards, playing assets, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not bad for 1 XP.
2 XP, imbued ink. Living ink enters play with 2 additional charges and takes up an arcane slot instead of a body slot. Love that first part. The second one is a little more subjective.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're running body slot stuff. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, the 2 extra charges. I mean, I think the charge limit on this in general feels bad.
Yeah. And then we got Eldritch Ink. Circle another skill. That costs 2 XP.
Okay.
Then we've got Eldritch Ink. Circle another skill. This one costs 3 XP.
Must be better.
Yes, definitely better. Then we have Macabre Depiction for 3 XP. Living Ink gains reaction. After you reveal a chaos token with a symbol, exhaust Living Ink, place a charge on it. Now, that's fun.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one right there.
And that says...
And then you just need ritual candles, and then you break the game.
Yeah, because symbol here would include frost and...
Bless and curse. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right, we found the Bless Curse Living Ink Ritual Candles deck. That's all you need.
Love it. And then Vibrancy. Living Ink grants an additional +1 to the circled skills and -1 to each other skill. I love it.
I also love it, but it's hot trash. But it's
it's
perfect in Mystic. It is like perfect.
I would like. How much would you love to play a Mystic who is like
8-0-0-0?
Exactly. It sounds great.
Exactly. The stat line I was hoping you'd go for. Yep. That is it's perfect. I really like this one. I think this might be Macabre Depiction might be the most obvious like upgrade. I'm like, if you want this to actually work and be part of your strategy and not just like I mean, like the other option is play it at level 0 and just it's a 3-turn intellect or willpower boost, which feels
not really
bad.
Worth it. Yeah,
but I mean it's 0 cost, so it's like it's like if you have an action to spare on a turn, you're like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll just I'll be investigating and fighting with my willpower for the next 3 turns. Fine, I'll just spend 1 action to do that slightly better. And I think honestly, it's great in the woman that I still
Jacqueline?
No, this
Amina.
current Amina.
Yeah.
Anyone with 3s across the board, they need all the help they can get with skill value boosts, and Living Ink does a nice job of that.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. No, this is maybe one of the more positive one of these types of cards, the customizable cards that I've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh man, this one's awesome art. Summoned Servitor is a 2-cost asset, willpower icon, and it is summon traded. Oh man, do I want a summoner so bad in Arkham?
I mean, we already had the summoned hound or something, right?
No, I know, but like an investigator who like just is like a necromancer, summoner type person. I know that doesn't exist.
Do you remember the days, or are you too young, when like you would summon something in Final Fantasy and there'd be like a 5-minute video, and then you would do a bunch of damage?
I do not.
Oh man, it was like both cool and kind of annoying.
Yeah, I feel like cool the first time, annoying all the rest of the time. Summon Servitor, customizable. As an additional cost to play Summon Servitor, you must discard another asset you control. Actually, not like a huge weakness, especially if you're doing the Doom play. It takes up the ally slot and an arcane slot, just as a note. Mm-hmm. Summoned Servitor enters play at your location. It can take 1 action during each of your turns, which can only be used to take the following actions. Move to a connecting revealed location. That's it.
All right, I love it.
It can just card. It can just move around. Okay, so like hot take here, level 0, really strong. Like one of the strongest level 0s I've seen. Like that shit will move around the board like no other.
It is like the second best way in this pack to discard an asset.
Yeah, I mean it's a little floating thing that's just like reminds you, hey, I discarded an asset for your ass.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yep.
All right. Love it. Keep it. Wait, question for these cards. Do you need to include the level 0 version before upgrading?
No.
Okay, cool.
That would be awesome.
All right. So the upgrades hopefully will make it do more than just move around the board. We'll find out though. Armored Carapace. The Summon Servitor gains a health value of 3. It can be assigned damage dealt to any investigator at its location, so it can just move around the board and tank.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Better already. Claws that catch. As an action, you can fight. You fight any enemy at this location with a base combat of 4. Ignore, aloof, and retaliate keywords for this attack. Not bad. My question is, if it's not like an investigator or anything that engages, if you're moving it around the board and like enemies are hunters, you have to kind of like move in front of the enemy to get ready to catch it because they can only take one action each turn. Right?
Oh.
You know, so like if you move it into an enemy's location and it hunts out, then your next
Got it.
action is just going to be following it and forever be doing
I think
that.
probably 90% of the time you have it follow you around.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
And let's not forget, this thing kills whippoorwills, which is amazing.
That is true. Ignoring aloof is not nothing. Alright, Jaws that snatch. As an action, it can evade, and it evades an enemy at this location with a base of 4. Ignore alert keyword for the evasion attempt. Okay, decent. Mm-hmm. It's funny that it can evade without it being engaged, but it makes sense for the summon. Moving right on to... And these are all 1 experience, which is pretty nice, yeah. Giving it actions that can actually be helpful.
Yep.
Look at that. Eyes of Flame. Add this action. Investigate with a base of 4. Cool. Another little way to do clues. So if the Summon Servitor investigates, you just get a clue, I assume? It doesn't hold a clue?
Probably.
Yeah. I'm sure that's the way that works.
Yeah.
And also the Carapace, like, I guess you likely wouldn't assign it a final point of damage if you didn't want it to die, but if it took 3 damage, would it die?
Yeah, and there's definitely some disadvantages to that. There's cards that are like put 1 damage on all the cards you control.
Exactly.
So there's definitely games I would maybe intentionally not take on the
I feel like I wouldn't often, because like if it can't like really mess with an enemy and like engage it and lock it down, why give it a way to die?
Yeah.
Unless you're really short on health, which I mean some mystics are.
Yeah.
Alright, so another 1 experience, Wings of Night. After Summon Servitor moves from your location to a connecting location, you may move to that location as well.
That's the best one so far.
Yes!
That is the best one so far.
That's so good. Yeah, so it picks you up and carries you. Oh, that's really good. Damn. Okay, I love that one. For 1 experience, that is enough. Like, that is 2 cost, 1 experience. It takes up a bunch of slots, but it can carry you around?
Yeah.
Seems good. Free move action every turn?
Yep.
Pretty good. Anyway. Dominance. Summon Servitor no longer takes up a Circle 1 Arcane or Ally slot. That's nice. Like, losing that Ally slot is probably what you do most times there.
Yeah.
Dreaming Call for 3 experience. Instead of discarding another asset you control in order to play it, you may return that asset to its owner's hand.
Pretty nice.
To its owner's hand. Oh yeah. Is it an asset?
No.
It's
an asset you control, but it's not necessarily an asset you own.
Yes, no, that's true. Okay, that's a good point. And Demonic Influence for 5 experience. Summon Servitor can take 2 different actions instead of 1. I was waiting for that one. I figured that would be a thing. That's pretty good. So you're getting, 5 actions total. 2 of them belonging to this Summon Servitor.
Yeah.
Who can now probably, if you're taking that, you probably have given it Wings of Night and at least 1 of like the fight, investigate type abilities.
Yeah.
Seems good. Like, seems fun. Definitely seems fun.
Yeah, no, I think this is the best customizable we've seen so far.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I actually feel like, I think you're only allowed to put 10 boxes, right? You cannot spend more than 10 XP on 1 card in this game.
Yes, we're getting the okay from the booth.
And I think this might be the first one where I run up against that, where I think I could totally see myself winning Demonic Influence, Dreaming Call, Dominance, Wings of Night. I think I'm already up to 11.
11,
there.
yeah.
And I probably won't.
At least 1 of...
I think I would spend 12 on this if I was allowed to.
Yeah, you do like Eyes of Flame, Wings of Night, Dominance, like
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah. No, I mean, I think you do. I think you're right. I think we skip Armored Carapace completely just because of the way it like can accidentally get plinked off, and you use it and you can be like, this is my shore up weakness A buddy.
Yeah.
And he's gonna do, evading if I like have no way to deal with enemies. He's gonna do investigating if I'm kind of weak at investigating. And you just kind of pick one or maybe two, but you don't give them all of those abilities to do the things.
Yeah.
And then
I think you pick either Dominance or Dreaming Call probably. But you always take Wings of Night, and you always try to build to Demonic Influence.
I'm honestly I think Dreaming Call is a trap. I think instead of discarding the asset, you return it to the owner's hand is pretty mediocre for 3 experience. I
guess it's a one-time effect.
Yeah, exactly. I think Dominance is much better because it's a lingering. Remove that ally slot and let it just be a spell. Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking 10 experience. Demonic Influence, Dominance, Wings of Night, Eyes of Flame, Catch of Claws. Good. Let's go.
Sounds like a spell.
10 experience spell.
No, I just mean like the way you said that.
Oh yeah, I did it. I cast it. It's outside right now.
Love it.
All right, finish this up here.
All right, Power Word. This is 3-cost event. Fast, play only during your turn. Attached to a non-elite enemy at your location. Action: if attached enemy is at your location, parlay. Give it a command. Limit once per round per command. You can either tell it to go. The enemy moves once in a direction of your choice, or cower. The enemy exhausts. It's already decent.
It's already decent. For an action, you can just automatically exhaust them?
Mm-hmm. Well, yes. Yeah. Yep.
That seems decent.
Yeah.
I wish it had the text that if you're commanding it, it doesn't provoke.
Oh.
Because if it's at your
location... no, parlay. It's a parlay.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Parlays don't provoke. There you go.
All right.
Tell me how we upgrade it.
So, Betray. You can tell it, Betray. Deal 1 damage to any enemy at this enemy's location with an equal or lower fight value than this enemy. Mercy. You can tell it, Mercy, an investigator heals damage or horror equal to this enemy's respective damage or horror value. That's pretty good if they do 2+ in either stat.
Yeah.
Confess. Discover 1 clue at this enemy's location if its health is equal to or higher than the location's shroud. Distract. Automatically evade any enemy at this enemy's location with an equal or lower evade value than this enemy. So those were all 1 XP. Now we get to 2 XP, greater control. You can do fast, return Power Word to your hand. I really wish that was called Friendship Ended With.
We're breaking up.
For 3 XP, you can be bonded. You may activate the parlay ability and Power Word from up to 1 location away from the attached enemy. Tongue Twister, also 3 XP. When you parlay with Power Word, you may give 2 different commands. So there, we're getting quite strong. And 3 XP, Thrice Spoken. You may include 3 copies of Power Word in your deck. When you give a command using 1 copy, also give that command to each other enemy with 1 of your copies of Power Word attached. That's probably the most fun one.
That's definitely the most fun one. And for 3 XP, that's pretty good.
Yep. No, you do have to spend 9 actual dollars to play this on 3 enemies.
Yeah.
But it will be super fun.
Alright, so my hot take, disagree with me if you want, but it's really cool. It's kind of okay.
Yeah.
It's expensive, and you have to, I kind of forgot that you needed to be at the location of the enemy, which means it's either engaged with you and will still provoke attacks, or you're spending the action to exhaust it, or you're exhausting it, by evading it. It just seems like it's a big ass. You need to be paying 3 for it. You need to take control of this dude, and you need to somehow lock him down or push him out. So you're spending, what's that one, 3 to be bonded with them, and so that they're doing stuff from up to a location away.
Have you considered
No.
playing this on 3 different enemies at your location and having them all kill each other?
I had considered that, but that's 9 resources, and still an action to do 1 damage to each of them?
That'd be so cool.
I mean, I agree. I said it's really cool, but is it good, Steven?
Yeah, there's no way
the answer is no, it's not good.
Yeah, I guess there's no upgrades that make it do more damage or cost less. I think those are the 2 things it kind of needs.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Tongue Twister is actually probably the best one. If you're going to take
Tongue Twister's very good.
Yeah, because you can be like, go and cower, even at just level 3. And like, evade it and throw it away.
One thing we have not mentioned... it's limit once per round per command. So you can spend 3 actions doing this stuff, but they can't all be the same one.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. Like, best case scenario, you put this on 3 enemies. They all do a damage. Then they discover 3 clues. Then at the end, they all get evaded or something. So that you don't have to deal with them again.
I mean, 3 damage and 3 clues for 2 actions is very strong. But
yeah.
Is that going to happen?
Obviously it will.
Yeah, I think it's bad. I think it's really fun, and it's very not good. It's so situational. I want it to be good, don't get me wrong. I really want it to be good. I think the best thing about it is the flexibility of, like, the first 4 things, honestly. Where I'm like, yeah, this is just not going to be good, but, like, if you really need it to heal you, you can have this enemy heal you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I also don't know if it would actually spend an XP to, like, get the health options. Right? It's kind of situational.
I mean, everything's so situational.
Damage and clues.
Yeah, no.
And actually,
honestly, clues.
The nice thing about this one is it starts
one.
with 2 good options. Like, neither of the initial options
Yeah,
are
Cower is... I mean, yeah, again, I think level 0 might be the best way that this card exists.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, level 1, if you can do, like, Confess. Is Confess the clue one? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you get, like, a decently high health enemy that has low enough evade that you can just naturally evade it, like spending 1 action to evade it, and then spending another action to get 1 clue. No, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Oh man, that's all the cards. What are your general thoughts on the Mystic bunch?
Cool. I was actually, let's see, for Doom. I guess there was only really 1.5 Doom cards that blew me away, which I would say were Sin Eater and El Rubash. Like, definitely Sin Eater, and El Rubash I think is quite strong. It didn't blow... It did not, like, blow the wheels off the Doom playstyle as much as I thought it would.
Me too. No, that's kind of where I felt too. I was like, there was a lot of things that did Dooming, but not a lot of things that cared about Doom existing. And I think that was the miss for me. I need to, like, go back and, like, read...
Yeah, I guess the signatures...
Word of Wheel and Word of Woe now that we've read everything. But, like, alright, so Word of Woe was place a Doom on an asset you control, and you get to trigger all its abilities without... I mean, that's great card.
Yeah.
I don't think that, like... Yeah, I think we were pretty hot on that, too. And then the Word of Wheel is adding Doom to add willpower skill. Again, really nice for Amina.
No, Word of Wheel does not add a Doom. It just requires a Doom.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
When you perform a skill test with a Doom on the asset. Okay, that's better. Still very good. I think just, like, +3 even is pretty nice to whatever test you're trying to do, especially because we kind of complained about just her ability to actually pull off some of those tests. And if this one is like, hey, you have 2 Doom on or 3 Doom on this, level 4 sickle that you've doomed a whole bunch, and you can just be like, okay, I'm going to get a +3 to the test that's trying to remove all Doom from it. It's pretty good. But no, I think you nailed it. I mean, I really like the what was it? The card that Brandon and I previewed, Ghastly Possession. I think is a great card for basically anyone who wants it. Super flexible, can be used to replenish uses of others. Moonlight Ritual, real cool. Uncaged Soul, real cool. Sin Eater, real cool.
Yeah. There's some nice one, like Uncaged the Soul 3 is just, like, the best general purpose card.
Yeah,
in
like
here.
best mystic card to come out for sure.
And yeah, and then Ghastly Possession is actually, as you pointed out, also kind of a general purpose card, even though it mentions Doom.
Yeah.
And then Binder's Jar is a pretty fun card.
Yeah, fun for sure. Yeah, I mean,
and solid.
I think the issue is that they kind of did a lot of different things with the pack. Like they did like the Arcane play, they did the Doom play, they did some other random
some of the customizable stuff. Did any of the customizable stuff have to do with Doom? I don't
know.
think so.
Yeah. So I don't know. They did a lot of different things. They increased a ton of hand slots, which is nice because Mystics didn't have a ton of options. But I mean, they have the best options, and I won't go into. But yeah, that's generally our feelings.
Yeah. So, would you play 5 Ritual Candles with your 5 hand slots if you could?
Yes.
All right.
It means you just need to draw 1 Cursor Bless, and you have a +7 or 3.
All right. So, Maxine prints customizable Ritual Candles where you could spend XP to add more copies to your deck.
Please. But don't tap me. All right. Yeah.
Well, I think we've proved we don't need Brandon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
F that guy. You want to do the sign-off, or you want me to do the sign-off? Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, do all those things. Come back for more Steven and Kyle only content here on Optimal Fans. I mean, play.
Yeah.
And
don't be optimal.